What's up, y'all? Welcome into a solo edition of SSPN Reacts. Me and Ethan are going to have two other videos coming out for you later tonight, but I saw this article on Wemby and I had to share it with you guys. So let's jump right into it. So the article is titled Victor Wembanyama arrives in the U.S. ahead of the NBA draft. This is ESPN and the Associated Press, and it's just giving us a little bit of intel on what happened today with him arriving at Newark International Airport outside of New York City on Monday. So some fans knew what flight he was on, and when the plane was landing, many were waiting. Wembanyama cheerfully signed autographs, scrawling his name onto basketballs and Spurs jerseys, just like France. I don't know if y'all saw that, but in his last game for Metropolitans 92 in the LNB Finals, somebody threw him a Spurs Wembanyama jersey when he was walking out, and he signed it. Some with his name even already on the back. See, people are getting customs. That was my point. Before making his way into a waiting vehicle. Here's what Wemby had to say about it. I don't know how they knew what flight I was on, but it's fun. It's different seeing that you can have such an impact on people. I mean, the NBA posted a video about it on all their socials. Y'all should go check it out. He's getting mobbed basically when he comes out. He's also having to duck his head to avoid some of the signage in the terminal. I'd show it to you guys, but I'm not sure on the copyright on that, so I don't want to jump over there and then get copyrighted by the NBA. But definitely go to their Twitter, their Instagram, and it's on there. Go check it out. It's pretty crazy seeing that like there's all these people, just wanting to get his autograph. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You could sell that online, so I get it. But it seems like it's not just Spurs fans. I mean, I'm sure they've gained some new Spurs fans. I'm sure there are a lot of bandwagon fans that are going to jump on if he ends up, turning out, how everybody's projecting, and his game translates from the French league to the NBA. And that was kind of what I was thinking. I was just like, how many of these people? There were some people like in some Spurs Wembanyama jerseys and stuff. I'm like, I mean, maybe they're real ones. They could be real ones just living in other places. But I'm like, how many of y'all are Spurs fans, or how many of y'all just became Spurs fans? I don't know. That's just some speculation. Who knows? But it seemed like also there were just a lot of people who maybe they weren't Spurs fans, but they were fans of him. So lots, lot to play out to see if that ends up lasting. But it's pretty crazy to see that, especially for the Spurs, because still that wasn't something that Tim Duncan got. When he was, well, I guess now that I think about it, the welcoming ceremony video from that was pretty crazy. But still, like, I mean, people would come up to him, I'm sure, but he wasn't the same as Wemby is, as where Wemby will embrace it a little bit more, which just kind of means that it'll kind of happen more often because people will know that he's more approachable. Where with Timmy, it's like we all know Timmy. So I think y'all get what I'm saying there. But back to the article. It's the start of a hectic few days for the 19-year-old French phenom who has long been considered a generational prospect, the likes of LeBron James, right? We already know all that. Here's the good stuff. Wembanyama is expected to appear at a pre-draft media availability Wednesday, so we should, we'll get his first press conference there. That should be fun to listen to, and then should be in San Antonio sometime Friday. That lines up with what Don Harris tweeted a while back. Y'all can go to his Twitter account, and he says that there's also plans for a public welcome ceremony in San Antonio on Saturday, the 24th. So, I mean, it's raring to go. Like the next sentence in this article, the rest of his summer won't be exactly slow. Or, well, I didn't word that right, but I basically said what it said. Wembanyama already has announced is already announced to be one of the expected participants in the inaugural NBA Con in Las Vegas, slated for July 7th through the 9th. That coincides with the start of Summer League. That's going to be very interesting because if he's going to be there, it seems like he the likelihood that he's going to play increases. If he does play, though, I think it'll only be like one game. I believe me and Ethan had a conversation about that a while back on some podcast, and Ethan said if he does play, he thinks it's going to be one game. I think that was a good prediction. He got there before I did. And yeah, I think that if he does play, I think it will be just one game, and that's because of this. He has said he wants to play for France in the Basketball World Cup, the FIBA World Cup. That takes place in the Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan starting in late August and running through September 10th. So that's going to be an interesting thing, too. I'm not sure when Spurs training camp is, but I mean, it's going to start pretty soon after September 10th. So he's going to be playing a lot of basketball. It's going to be interesting to see how that impacts the way that the Spurs manage him this year. not only were they going to do that probably in the first place, but when you add in the fact that he's going to play, if he plays a game in Summer League and then he plays a FIBA World Cup and the French League finals went longer than the NBA, it's almost like he's not really gonna have an off season because he's going to be doing all this stuff when he gets to San Antonio. I'm sure that he's going to be going through evaluations and workouts with the team as well in summer. I know Zach's been out there. A lot of the guys have been out there. So he's going to be in the facilities working out, obviously. So it's like, I mean, obviously his life is basketball, but on top of just being integrated into the new team and integrated into the NBA, it's like right after that, he's going to have to go play in the FIBA World Cup for France. Well, no, excuse me. Before that, he's going to go to Summer League. And even if he only plays a little bit, I'm sure since they start in August, probably mid-July, you get 2 weeks of practice or a week of practice at least before you start playing in the World Cup with the French team. So, I mean, he's really not going to have any time, before the season starts and training camp starts. I mean, it's just going to be full go. So it's going to be interesting to see the management of that. And this sentence, the more I talk about it, just becomes more, even though I said it wrong the first time, it becomes more and more just right. The rest of his summer won't exactly be slow either. That is a mild way to put it, to say the least. Anyways, y'all tell me what you think of this. Tell me what you think of him getting mobbed at the airport, people finding his flights, and just his popularity already before he's even been drafted. And then also tell me what you think of his summer, because that's a jam-packed summer, and it's definitely going to be a lot of basketball, a lot of time for development, and a lot of good competition. But just, with the one big concern with him is, a potential injury. Obviously, me and Ethan know that he's done everything in science, according to Brian Windhorst, and just from, multiple articles and videos of all the things he does, to prepare and prevent injury before he plays. Y'all can go check out our video, How Many Games Will Wemby Play This Season? We do a deep dive on all of the different type of stuff he does. But it's still, once again, that's the main concern. So when you think about how much he's going to be playing and not really getting a break from basketball, like hard play, it's just something to keep in mind. Y'all tell me what you think of that as well. Appreciate you guys checking out all the content. Don't forget to hit that like button below if you're excited for Wembanyama being a Spur this Thursday, and hit that subscribe button as well. If you want to stay updated with the channel and watch our live streams on Twitter, you can go ahead and follow us at SSPN on YT, at Jude McLaren, and at Ethan_Quintero. You can also hop in the YouTube live chat as well during our live streams, but we do them on Twitter as well. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Go Spurs, go.